Hey everybody, it's Joe from greenlightsound.com, and today we've got a really quick and easy tip courtesy of Joe Barresi for mixing guitars, and this is his Enforcer or Clint Eastwood trick where he really does some parallel EQ with a guitar part to help beef it up, to help thicken it up, to help get that guitar nice and full sounding. First of all, let's just hear this single guitar part by itself. This is a mono guitar, panned right up the middle. The only processing I have on it at all right now is the API 560 that you see on the screen, boosting a tiny bit of the upper end and then scooping a little bit in the mids here. And here's what the guitar part sounds like by itself. So we've got some pretty low single line heavy guitar stuff going on there, and we want to thicken it up a bit. And we can do this in tracking, and Joe Barresi does this in tracking sometimes, but we're going to do it in mixing here. So all I did was duplicate that guitar part. I made a second track with the exact same stuff on it. And then I inserted Wave's GTR plugin, which is a Stompbox modeler plugin, and put a wah pedal on there. And I can manually adjust the wah with the slider here. So I brought the wah a little less than halfway back. And what that does is creates a really filtered sound where you're only hearing like mids and lower mids emphasized. The top end's all cut out. A lot of the bottom end is cut out too. And just a lot of kind of low or mid-range emphasis. By itself, this track doesn't sound so good. Here's just the wah track by itself. And you can see how when I move that slider, I can adjust where the wah is. But if I blend that into the main guitar part, you really start to thicken things up nicely with it. So watch this fader as I drive it up along with the main guitar part in parallel. So it's not totally changing the character or tone of the guitar, but it's just adding a little bit of guts to that guitar part. I'll turn it on and off as it plays with the mute button here on the parallel channel. And of course, we can blend it as much as we want on this parallel channel. Now, let's say you don't have a wah plugin to do this with. You can really mimic the same effect with just a standard EQ. Here I've got the PreSonus Pro EQ. I'll engage it here. And all I did is a really gentle roll off of all the bottom end stuff, a gentle roll off of all the top end stuff. And I pushed up some mid-range 650 hertz or so. And that can actually be adjusted to whatever frequency you want. I'll go a little bit lower here. How about 587? Here's what that sounds like by itself. It's a lot like the wah pedal sound, right? Wah is just basically a filter. So we're bringing out that top and bottom, emphasizing the mids. And when I blend that in with the main signal, here's what we get. I'll turn the mute on and off as it plays. And depending on how the guitar is tracked and how you want to emphasize the EQ, you can move this sort of set emphasis frequency around. You can make it a little bit lower, a little bit higher, depending on what you want your guitar part to sound like. And with the wah plugin, we would just simply move that wah pedal up or down a little bit lower or higher. And again, if you want to do this in tracking, all you've got to do is record that same guitar part again with a wah engaged, pulled back about halfway or a little bit below halfway. Blend that in parallel with the main guitar track, and you get a lot more energy in the mid and lower mids and kind of thicken things up really nicely for guitars. Really cool and really easy trick, courtesy of Joe Barresi. So if you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, so we can keep you in the loop as to what's coming up next, and I'll see you in the next one.